Well, howdy folks, it's me, Commander Bloodshot, here with another oh, okay, alright, we'll stop, alright, anyways, on with the demo. Alright, we got that out of the way. What's up homies, it's WInn, here with another inking demo. So today we're going to be continuing and hopefully finishing up this Commander Bloodshot face. And the tool we're going to use in this episode is made by Zebra. It's a brush marker, and you know what, maybe we'll play around with getting translations later with Google Translate. This is their blue marker. They make 3 like this. There's a light gray, a dark gray, and this blue one, which is the finest tip. And today we're going to go in and do some of the frost on his beard, probably part of his eye. I've already done his ear and the contour line for his head here, which this is a little chunky, but we're going to fill all of this in black. And we'll do the teeth and everything. Anyways, on with the show. Now the frost in the beard, we're going to do slightly thin lines for the top parts, and then these under parts will go a little heavier. That way there's a little dimension to them. The colorist can do what he will with that. David Barron's usually really good about picking up on notes like that. Light source, light burst, things like that. Down under here we'll just go a little heavier. This brush marker is a little firm, and we'll go to where we're going to go black. It's bouncy and firm, I kind of like it. Go ahead and make jokes.
Old-timey inking song. Old-timey inking song. Old-timey inking song.
Alright, we're done with that, and now we're going to move on, and we are going to play with a Pentel pocket brush. A lot of people seem to like these. Get it going here, and back to the beard. Let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna go heavier down here in the shadows where the beard curls under and is going in to meet his jacket and inside his collar. You don't need to put a lot of detail where you don't want to draw attention. And the black will not draw attention. But up here we'll go a little thinner. A little bit of frost chunk there, so we'll leave that. Not quite used to this brush tip yet. Not quite sure how I like it. Coming out a little too clean for me here. That's my fault, not the brush. Can get some clean lines with this though. Alright, we'll go a little heavier on the underside of the mustache here. When I'm doing hair, mustache hair, beard hair, head hair, whatever, hair, I tend to flick my wrist a lot. I'll lock the pen or the brush in my hand and then sort of flick my wrist. We'll get more involved in the mechanics of inking in some future videos. I'll show you guys how to practice and how to get better at all the different ways you want to hold the brush, maneuver the pen, do things like that. Things you don't even know you're supposed to do. Things that more veteran artists don't even know they're doing anymore. I do like the way this brush marker, or this pen brush, kind of fills in the areas. It's very wet, but it doesn't last long in a stroke. Here we're going to be doing black here, so let's test it out. Guess that's not so bad. It's pretty light. Ugh, how shaky those are coming out. I'll hold the paper flatter. See how clean we can get it. Now when I'm doing this, I'm just rotating at the elbow. Everything else is locked up. And you treat it like an airplane that's coming in for a landing and then taking off. Just a little bit of pressure. Actually, now that I'm getting the hang of this, I'm starting to like it. I don't think it's proper for Trevor. It's almost too clean. I don't have the same control over it as I do natural hairs. Do some little I was gonna say Rick flits. Wrist flicks. Wrist flicks. Anyways, enough of that. Should we get back into Commander Bloodshot here? See what we can do with his eyebrows. You can get a little wispy with eyebrows. Their hair, his are a little unmanaged. He's not a pretty girl with managed eyebrows, or Ninjak. He probably takes real good care of his eyebrows. Alright, we have this rendering coming in from the cheek. Let's see what we can do with this brush. Okay. It's not bad. I think this needs to have more black here, less rendering. I need to translate the label on this pen. So I think it may be more for a gray wash. It's coming out pretty light, and I'm usually okay with my inks not being very black, but stuff's coming out really light. Probably all looks the same on video. And we're gonna pull in thin to thick with the brush strokes here, just like we were saying earlier. And again, it's sort of that landing the airplane. You're moving before you hit the paper. That makes sense. Here we're going to try to go, see how thin and consistent I can go with this brush. Doesn't give me a lot of control. It feels like driving a car on wet pavement. Like you can kind of get in the right direction, but you don't have total control. There'll be little surprises along the way. And that's okay with an inking demo. This isn't going to print, so we don't have to be super precious about it. It's about talking about technique and seeing how techniques are applied. All right, here we're going to start a little open, and where it starts to go under, we go a little heavier, and then as it opens up around the cheek, we'll thin out the lines and spread them out. And this will be all mustache and frost here. We'll go in and complete these shadows underneath. Do 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 do. All right, I'm starting to get a little more comfortable with this brush. A lot of people don't like inking because it makes them feel awkward and uncomfortable. Everything's so permanent, the tools can be so fussy. But a lot of times it's very rewarding to get through those little problems, to get past the speed wobbles. We used to say that when we skated when we were young, and we'd race downhill, and there'd be a point where the board was shaking really bad, but if you could get past those speed wobbles, you'd find a smooth transition, or smooth, let's see, what would you say? It smoothed out. And that's sort of the same thing with inking. You just got to get through these little problems, you got to get used to how a brush works and how ink works and how it works over pencil, over printed lines, you know, it's all different stuff. Even digital, you got to get used to different things. And it's not as forgiving as penciling. So a lot of people don't like that. But if you can get past that, it's a very rewarding craft. It's really fun to just go in and make these lines. It's a lot like crafting with like thread, or it's repeated patterns. But then it's also like calligraphy. I'm not even paying attention to the beard now, I'm just having fun with the brush. Let's hope this works out. Let's see. It's coming along okay. Now hold them up right into the camera here. What should we do next? I feel like we should speed it up here and get some of this done. What do you say, everybody? Yeah? Let's do it. There you have it, homies. Commander Bloodshot. The ink is still wet. Can't touch it, can't scan it. Just gotta look at it. Alright, join me next time when we'll do a wrap-up video where we'll look over the piece and go back over the tools that we used to make this happen. Alright, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Stupid cat.